Cancer, this is your astrology for November 2015. You start November with a grand trine in water, in your element of water, and you're going to be feeling highly intuitive at the beginning of this month. Halloween was a big thing for you anyway on the 31st. But on the 1st of November, that kind of thin veil continues. You're really going to feel in touch with your communicative self. You'll really understand greater things, and I think you'll be having contact with either people on the other side or concepts, or your intuition is going to be heightened, whatever way you feel, and that comes across, and you're going to love the process. If you're a working medium, or if you're someone who works in the intuitive arts, you're going to really discover things about your own gifts and abilities which will really have an impact on your work in future. Mercury goes into Scorpio on the 2nd, that increases that even more. Mercury is the communication planet. Scorpio is another water sign, it's like your brother or your sister. It deepens and heightens the intuitive messages that you get through. It gets even stronger, believe it or not. Neptune and the Sun start to connect on the 3rd of November. They start to form a trine relationship, and that lasts until the 6th of November. Neptune is the water planet. Also, again, like your uncle or your aunt, because the moon is your ruler, but Neptune is the water planet of dreams. And when that connects with the sun, your identity, the intuition just goes from here to up there, because it opens you up to that intuitive kind of aspect of life. Really expect to have great insights that, again, will inform your work, but I also think in terms of your romantic life, you'll really have a great insight and understanding. On the 4th, the moon starts to trine Uranus. And Uranus is in your 10th house of career, it's in Aries, and the moon is in your 2nd. And I really feel, Cancer, that you'll get some sort of idea, like, if I put myself in the spotlight doing this, if I kind of take center stage, if I really push forward, if I make myself self-employed, or I step out of the shadows and I step into the limelight, you're really going to have a lot of success. So whatever idea comes up on the 4th of November, please honor that, because a lot of times we have ideas like that, and it's like, well, you know, who's little old me to think like that? Don't do that to yourself. You get those ideas for a reason. Jupiter trines Pluto and your rising sign on the 5th of November. Now, Pluto and the rising are in Capricorn in your 7th house of relationship. So what you're doing is actively working on your relationships. And Jupiter is, with all his buddies there, the Moon, Mars, Venus, the North Node, they're sitting in your 3rd house of communication. So really, you have the gift of the gab, as we say here. You can speak very well, you can express yourself in a great way, and anything you say is like gold. At the moment, I don't think you can say a wrong word. I think everything you express is ideal, and it will create new relationships, and people will be like, oh my god, she's so funny, I want to be friends with her. And people will like come up to you and say, you're amazing, you know. People will love what you have to say. So open up and talk and get chatting, and you know, that intuition that's been so heightened, it may be that it's not just your words that are coming through, but it's some greater wisdom or some other sense of humor or something bigger than yourself, and people will really respond to that very well. That is really strong on the 5th and 6th of November. The connection has actually been there from the 8th of September and will continue until the 20th of November. So that doesn't go away. That'll be with you for the most of November, which is awesome. 7th of November, there's a yod. And a yod is the finger of God. It doesn't happen a lot, it's rare. It's between Jupiter and your Sun, and it culminates in your working sector. So this ability to communicate, this romantic sense of intuition, of love for something greater, really culminates in you being able to take action in your working life and doing something unique. If you're working in a call center and you don't enjoy that, some people do enjoy working in a call center, but if you don't enjoy it, you will get ideas about what you can do that comes from within you that'll be a better career. And it's God-given. if you're, God-given, if you believe in a higher power. If you don't believe in a higher power, those things come from somewhere. We all have flashes of insight. We all have kind of think, where did that come from? So wherever it comes from, it comes into your chart and you'll be able to find a new way forward. 8th of November, we have got, again, increased opportunities especially in your working relationships. Watch out for those, and you may even get a tidbit of information from one of your family members, which will open that up. So speak to family on the phone on this day. Someone may say something in passing which really invigorates you in your working life and gives you a way forward. Sometimes the most innocuous kind of little things that someone says really have a positive impact, and this is one of those days, especially on your work. Venus goes into Libra on the 4th, and it moves into your 4th house. So you really feel a huge amount of affection and love and kindness towards your family, and that stays there for a long time, for a month at least. So for you to connect with family is great, especially around Thanksgiving. You're going to have a wonderful time, and I don't see too many blow-ups there. I don't see any blow-ups there, to be honest. Neptune and the Moon start to connect, and Neptune, again, is that dream planet of the heightened intuition, and the Moon is your soul. It's the most intimate part of you, and it's still connected to the Sun, so the intuition is great, but on the 10th it's like intuition squared intuition plus psychic ability plus messages from the other side. It doesn't get much stronger. So Cancer, you're very intuitive anyway, but you're going to have the most intuitive month that you've had in a long, long time. If you're someone who does readings or something, it's great. It's great for you. If you're not, and you've been interested in that sort of thing, look into it. You'll notice that you can do a lot of it. And if you're a Cancer, you're going to have noticed that ability about yourself anyway, because you are highly intuitive in most settings. The new moon happens on the 11th, and the new moon is in Scorpio, and it's in your 5th. And the wonderful insights that you'll get and the energy that you can pour into that new moon. A new moon is a great time to start new ventures, to start new chapters in your life, to say, this is what I'm going to be working at now. And I think the thing you're going to be interested in is, how do I gain more clarity and control in my relationships? How do I stop kind of having to work so hard? How can I stop maybe even possibly people pleasing? And how can I have more say? How can I be the one in charge of this relationship? And how can I make that happen? So think about that on the new moon. You'll get some great insights if that's the topic that you're contemplating. The Jupiter starts to sextile the Sun on the 12th of November. And the Sun conjuncts Mercury. So again, this is a great day for you to communicate. This is the best day to communicate so far, and it's a wonderful day to really... No, actually, I mean, you've had this amazing ability to just say the right thing all month anyway, and you will continue to. This connects with romance now and working on romance. If you can schedule a date, if you can go out with your other half, if you can arrange time to spend with someone, the 12th is to do it. It'll be a great day to connect on an emotional level. Mars goes into Libra on the 13th. And wow, I just got a message that a lot of you Cancerians are going to have a child around the 13th of November. If you're gonna have a, you've got to be pregnant to have a child. But if your due date is around this time, the 13th is a great time to really kind of bring that about, because the archetypal male and the archetypal female, when they come together and they are together on the 13th, new things happen. So that can be a new child, it can be a new idea, it can be a new, two people falling in love or whatever. But it's a culmination, it's a coming into existence, it's coming to life. And it's in Libra, so it's in a harmonious, people-centered way. So there are going to be new beginnings. So it's new children or new relationships or new beginnings, okay? Yes. That's nice. Okay, now on the 14th, something weird happens because the chart kind of clears a whole sector of your chart out. 11th, 12th houses, first house, second house, they're all empty. And everything is focused kind of on the right side of your chart, the Western Hemisphere, because it's flip side. And your focus is really going to be on your family, people, and relationships. And you're not going to be focused at all on yourself or your friendships, or I think on things outside of yourself. I think your focus is going to be very much on planet Earth and the people in your life. So again, that says to me that something is happening with people in your life. Because why would you have such a strong focus if nothing was going on in that area? On the 16th, Jupiter trines the Moon and Pluto and your rising sign, all in your 7th house of relationship. And again, it's the same thing. Good luck, good fortune in practical considerations in your relationships with other people. New beginnings, new life, feeling very comfortable and feeling very much like yourself. Uranus and Venus begin to oppose each other on the 17th, and this is interesting because, you know, Venus has been so loving and blissful and all of that stuff. It now opposes Uranus, which is this big outer planet, and it's cold and it's dark and it's chaotic and it's unpredictable. And poor little Venus, she comes up against that, and it's kind of overpowered because your drive and your focus is going to be like this massive thing towards work now. And I think the focus really shifts on the 17th, and Venus is kind of pushed to the side, and you're just like, what am I achieving at work? What am I doing there? Uranus is sitting very powerfully there, all alone on the top of your chart, saying, work, 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 move forward, pour your energy into your working life. That stays in opposition to Venus until the 28th of November, so 11 days. On the 19th of November, the Moon starts to really cause a lot of friction with your Sun, your Mercury, your midheaven, your Saturn, all of this stuff going on in your 5th and 6th houses. And in brackets, I've put major issues and reevaluation, okay? So you're going to reevaluate some of your relationships, particularly your working relationships, because you're going to hear something from someone which will shed a new light on things you thought were truths and which may now seem different. Don't take any drastic action, let it settle in. Mercury moves into Sagittarius on the 21st, and Sagittarius is a great sign. I love it. It's you know, it's the centaur. He's got a bow and an arrow. Bow and arrow, yeah. And he always focuses on one thing. He focuses on a particular endpoint. Mercury is the planet of communication. So right now, anything you're saying, especially in your working life, you're deliberately focusing on what the outcome is going to be. That Sesky squares out Uranus. Uranus is very pleased with that. And you are totally focused on getting things done, and you're not so much interested in personal issues. So I think you're able to leave that behind a little bit and focus on your work and being productive and what you're meant to be doing. Pluto squares Venus on the 22nd, and it continues to square it until the 25th. And again, Venus is coming up against something that's huge. You know, Venus is this little loving influence, and Pluto is like at the very end of the galaxy, not galaxy, universe, and he's cold, and he's dark, and he's death and rebirth, and it's like, how do you love that, right? Pluto also represents rebirth and regeneration. And I think the death that you're going to be feeling is like your own lack of warmth towards someone who's left your life and who may come back into your life over this 3-day period and kind of ask for forgiveness, possibly. Please take me back. I still love you. I'm sorry I stole your car and your dog and I made you homeless. But I've changed my mind now. I love you. Please take me back. You're not going to be very warm to that person, are you? So that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting between the 22nd and the 25th. And, you know, whatever you decide to do with that, your choice. But I think you're going to need some warming up. The Moon and the North Node quincux on the 23rd. So they're 150 degrees apart. this communicative ability. Oh, this really now helps you drive your business forward. So you are kind of, the focus is a little bit all over the place. It's work and then it's relationships and da-da-da. But, life is busy. November is going to be certainly very busy for you. But use your ability to speak on the 23rd of November because it'll help you move your work forward. Okay, big breath there. 25th of November is the full moon, and that's happening in Taurus. In your 11th house of hopes and dreams, and of relationships, of social relationships in particular. Taurus is a very practical sign. It's the most grounded, earthy sign that we have. And the fact that this is a full moon means that something comes to fruition in terms of your hopes and dreams or your relationship. So if the hope and dream is to succeed in business, you'll see a major inroad to that, and you'll be very encouraged by it. If it is, meeting someone or fitting into a group of friends, or I don't know, hopes and dreams around friends, maybe making better contacts. If that's the hope and dream, you can see some practical proof of that actually happening. But basically, a full moon in Taurus is like dreams coming true in a practical sense for you, Cancer. Okay, it's interesting because this month the new moon was in Scorpio, the full moon is in Taurus, and both of those signs are very much to do with control. Scorpio is about controlling the feelings and the emotional side of things. Taurus is about controlling money and belongings and the real world. And you as a Cancer are not controlling at all. You're nurturing, you're very self-effacing, you're compromising. And I think it's quite good that this month is so controlling because it helps you set clearer boundaries, and it helps you focus more on what you want to achieve. So look out for that. You'll see it as a blessing, and you'll see it as quite a lot. You'll feel it as quite a lot of strength this month. The North Node and Jupiter move towards each other on the 27th of November in Virgo, and they start to square the Moon, which is in Gemini in your 12th house. The communication that's been with you and that's been a blessing and a gift all month for you, Cancer, is now strengthened even further because the Moon in Gemini is, I find it easy to communicate. Jupiter and the North Node are in Virgo, which is also ruled by Mercury, which is let's communicate, let's take information on. So this is a great day to make sense of things, especially spiritual information. I guess if you're an accountant and you need to balance the books, great, you'll have a good day. But on a bigger level of making sense of messages that you've been getting all month and making meaning from those, or trying to discover what the meaning is, you'll have a really amazing day doing that. So flashes of insight, flashes of inspiration. Yes, this means this is this. Got it. Uranus begins to oppose Mars, and it does that until the 28th. No, it starts to oppose Mars today on the 28th of November, and it continues to oppose it until the 20th of December. Mars is strength and the archetypal male principle and what I want without compromising. Uranus is chaos and rebellion and weirdness, and those two kind of opposing each other is pretty dramatic. So Uranus has kind of been forcing you to move forward in terms of your working life all month. It's been saying go, go, go. Mars now comes in and it says, yeah, but what about your relationships? You really want to harmonize those, and you're not going to be able to do that if you're at work all the time. And they start to kind of push against each other. Uranus is saying, be quiet, I'm trying to work here. Mars is saying, hang on, you're ignoring everybody. So that doesn't feel very comfortable, and you're going to have to try and find some balance there. So the focus can't be all work or all family. It has to be a bit of both to keep those two happy. At the end of the month, the Moon trines the Sun and Saturn, and this is really good because you'll have some good news about extra solidity or structure in your work if you're on a temporary contract, or if you don't know what your financial future is or your career future or what your day-to-day routine is going to be like, where you're going to live. You will get some increased structure come in via some information, and that will make you feel more happy and secure, and like you can you can relax a little bit because you know what's coming up. So that finishes the month nicely with some extra security and structure and support for yourself. So that's the month for you, Cancer. I hope you have a fantastic November. It looks like an amazing month for you, loads of insight. If you'd like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab and you'll see the types of readings that I offer. I do astrology and tarot and numerology. You can choose the reading on there. Please remember to subscribe on the channel, and you can also find me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Gregory Scott 444. Have an amazing November, and I'll speak to you soon.